When the mountains are so high that I cannot climb them, He will carry me over. When the streams of life become raging rivers, and I cannot cross them, He will carry me over. When the waves of life push me back to the bottom, He reaches down His nail-scarred hands, and He carries me over. When I pass from this life, and I stand at this river, He will carry me over. Welcome to He Carries Me Over Ministries Incorporated. We were founded on John 3:16 and John 3:17. God's salvation plan for everyone. He did not do any of this for just a select few. He did this for everyone. Everyone who believes. He said to come unto me, all you that labor. Come unto me and I will give you rest. He don't say nothing about a select few. He said everyone. And whosoever believes in Him shall not perish, but have an everlasting life. Ours tonight goes to our friend Barney. Barney's been running a high fever, but now he's feeling all right. Thank God. And Barney, God's got all this under control. Prayers also for our son in Rwanda. And prayers for us all tonight. Let's remember each other. This night, let's just remember each other. This COVID-19. People, it's still on the rise. It's slowly hitting 800,000 deaths in the United States. They say it's killed more this year in the United States than it did last year at this time. It has. Well, if it goes over the 800,000 mark, it has killed more this year than it did last year. People, that virus is still out there, and it is still raging. Germany's had a big, massive surge in it. So the virus is still out there. Don't let your guards down yet. It is still out there. And it is still raging. 227 countries and territories. It's raging. Let's remember each other this night. Let's pray. Amen. I am the vessel in which you can work. He is the potter. I am the clay. Twisting me, bending me, and shaping me in the ways He wants me. I am in the potter's hands. People, we all better be looking at that way. We all had better be getting into the potter's hands. And let Him twist us and bend us and shape us in the way that He wants us. We better be getting in that position. Tonight's message, which last night we couldn't have it because I've got these allergies, but today it seemed to be slowing down. Each and every day it slows down a little bit more. But that's the way it does. So, this is the message that is supposed to go on last night. This life here on this earth Sometimes people, it gets unbearable. Sickness, killings, drug overdoses, people killing themselves on the open roads, people killing each other with guns, knives. But this is not our home. We're just passing through on our way to the Golden City. Why does some want to get out into the world and enjoy what the world has to offer? Is really beyond me. Because what is in the world is not going to stay very much longer. It's not going to stay very much longer. So why would anybody want to become part of that, knowing that it's going to go? Someday it's going to go. And the person or people who does things in the world, they're going to go right along with it. Right along with it. When we start thinking about what God did and does, it should be enough to cause everybody to start coming over to His side. Just to know what God has done and what He's going to do. First of all, in the Old Testament, they were promised the birth of the Messiah, the chosen one. For 8,000 years they waited. Some gave up. Others kept on believing that the chosen one, the Messiah, was going to be born. While some gave up, some continue to believe. Just like we are into today, we know that He went to the cross. We know He died upon the cross. He was put into that tomb. He rose on the third day and went back to heaven. We are waiting on His coming back. It's been almost 2,000 years. Some has given up, and some hasn't. Knowing that one of these days He is going to come back to take the believers home. A home that He went to prepare. Believers know that He is going to come back, the second coming. Just like they were in the Old Testament when they waited for His birth that never came. Some gave up, some didn't. Just like it's time now. Some is not giving up on His returning, while some has given up, and they will give up. And there will be some that will continue to believe that He is going to come back. I'm one of them. He carries me over ministries. Believe that one of these days He's going to come back and take us home to glory. This world is of hell. Now you've heard me say this before. When Satan lost the battle in heaven, he came hurling down to earth. Him and 2/3 of the angels in heaven came right along with him. This 2/3 of the angels became known as the fallen angels or demons. When they landed on earth, they took it over. And they made earth hell. We are living in hell. Because the Bible plainly tells us death and hell will be cast into the lake of fire. Hell is not coming. It's the lake of fire that is coming. For Satan and the wicked ones, the lake of fire was originally made for Satan and his wicked crowd. But mankind stepped right in. The world pleasures. Mankind steps right in to the lake of fire because of the world pleasures. Folks, this world is full of pleasures. It is. Drugs is a pleasure. Alcohol, a pleasure. But this is of Satan's pleasures. Now why did you say Jesus drank wine? Yes, he did. But the wines back then did not have all these carcinogenics in it as wine does today. And when Jesus had a glass of wine, he sipped on that wine. It took him all night to drink that wine. He never got drunk on it. But we the people today's got to guzzle it down to get drunk. Jesus never got drunk. He sipped that wine and he never got drunk. But today we've got to get drunk. We've got to guzzle it down to get drunk. You think you're having a hard time. I think I've had a hard time. Let's start thinking about the hard time that Jesus had here on the earth. He was bullied. From birth until he died, he was bullied. They bullied him, calling him fake, calling him a false prophet. He was bullied, big time. Just like my mommy one time said, you think you're having a hard time? Think about a time that our Savior was on that cross. Think about the bad time that he had. And he did. It tells us, in the Bible, it tells us that one of these days, God's trumpet is going to blast. And when that trumpet goes to blasting, it's going to wake the dead. And then in the sky will appear Jesus Christ, coming back to take us home. He's going to come back and take us out of hell. And he's going to take us to that golden city called New Jerusalem. That city that he went back to heaven to prepare. Yes, it's him. He's building that city. 2,000 years and he's not finished yet. But when he gets finished, we'll know. Because that trumpet is going to blast. God's trumpet is going to blast so loud that it's going to wake the dead. And all these world pleasures are going straight to the lake of fire. Because there'll be none of that in the golden city. There'll be no more sickness, pain, heartache, sorrow. There'll be no more of that. Because that is going to be wiped away. It will never be welcome in New Jerusalem. We will go there to be reunited with our loved ones forevermore. Isn't that enough to cause people to want to come over to this side? To come over to the side of Jesus and God? Isn't that enough? No. What more does he have to do? He gave his son on the cross for you and me. But back in the Old Testament, he did everything in his power to prove to his children that he is God and that he's got everything under control. He did everything, but still they would not listen. They would listen for a little while, then they pulled back from him, much as we do today, people. We get close to him, and then we pull back. He did everything in his power in the Old Testament. The New Testament, he sent his son to die upon the cross. People, he's done enough. Can't people see that? Yes, we're living in a hellish time with this COVID-19. Cancer, strokes, heart attacks. opioid deaths, deaths by many drugs, people getting killed every day. That's not God's doing. That is the devil's doing. Let's give that credit where credit is due. And that, my friend, is the devil's doing, not God's doing. Not God's doing. If it would be left up to the devil, there wouldn't be a church on this earth, and I would not be here telling you about God. If Satan was the ruler. He wants all this stuff off his earth. One of these days it's going to be off his earth. But then, it's all going to be swept off to the lake of fire. But when that trumpet sounds, when it comes to blasting, the dead in Christ is going to rise up out of them graves. Now some people preaches that before Satan starts to rule, all the righteous people are going to be gone. Really? My Bible tells me something different. The ones that are left here, that are still loving God, their feet will lift up off of the ground. And they will go upward to meet them in the air. That's what my Bible tells me. That still some people will be left here that believes in Him. These are they that's going to be strong in the kingdom of heaven. These are going to be the ones that's going to be rulers themselves. The one that endures it to the end will be the greatest in New Jerusalem. Isn't that wonderful? It is wonderful knowing that we have a chance to go there. That's what He has prepared for us. Heaven, New Jerusalem. All of that is ours. All of that can be yours, and it can be the world's. People in the world right now can come over to Him. And every bit of it goes to them. We are inherited to that. And we are going to go there one day. Someday. We're going to go there. To New Jerusalem. When that trumpet sounds, that's when we are going to go flying. To New Jerusalem. When that trumpet goes to blasting. Well, we don't know when it will be. Angels in heaven don't even know. Jesus Himself don't even know. God only knows that. And when that trumpet sounds, His Son is going to come back, riding the clouds in all His glory. He's coming back. We waited 2,000 years. And we may have to wait another 2,000 years, but He's coming back. He's coming back to take us right on to glory, to that golden city, when that trumpet sounds. It'll be time to go. When that trumpet sounds, we're out of here. Now, some people says our loved ones are in heaven. No, they're asleep. Because if this wasn't so, then what was the purpose of the trumpet sound? The trumpet sound is going to wake the dead. If they're already in heaven, why would there be a trumpet sound? Yeah, to welcome His Son back home. To welcome His Son back home, back to the earth. Now, some people believe this earth is going to be blown to smithereens. I happen to believe that. Because my Bible tells me the earth is a fixed object, and it shall not be moved. But the earth is going back to its perfect stages, just like it was at the beginning. And then New Jerusalem is coming down. But the earth is going to go through a change at this time. All sin, all death, illness is going to be off of it. Isn't that wonderful to know? To me it is. It is. God love each and every one of you. May this week find you in the best of health. And may you be granted everything that you wish to have and need. But go with God. Put him under, let him just get everything under control, and he will. He'll get everything under control. Just leave it at his feet. And he will get it under control. And while we're doing that, people, let's just keep on waiting. Have patience and wait for that trumpet sound, when we all will be on our way to glory. Don't give up. We're coming too close to the end of time to give up. People, you can look around, hear the news. How much more can this old world take? Not very much more. It won't be long until we hear that trumpet sound. Be ready. Amen.